Welcome. In this video, we are going to be taking a movement practice, one that clears all the energy and helps you come back into who you are. Inspired by all the different energetic modalities and movement forms of which I have delivered and facilitated for over 25 years, enjoy this 15-minute floor-based practice and feel that sense of alignment for you. Allow your heart to listen. This is recorded from one of the community circles that I offer and is part of your Sanctuary membership area. So as always with movement practices with me, it's going to start probably pretty gentle, pretty slow. This doesn't have anything too hardcore, but if there's anything that's not feeling good in your body, please feel free. I will be throwing in gentler options and harder options for some of them. So just tune into what your body feels like, what energy levels you've got, where there's aches and pains, and be kind to yourself, okay? You don't really need a mat unless you just like to have a defined space. And if you want to have a cushion for when we're doing seated exercises, please just have a cushion close by for sitting on so that it's more comfortable for your hips. Aside from that, just be nice and warm for the beginning bit, especially if you're somewhere where it's cold right now, so that when you're lying on your back, it's not going to be too uncomfortable. And we're going to just begin lying on our back in constructive rest. So that means that your knees are bent and your feet are on the ground. Your arms can just relax down by your side. And the first key here is just to notice the back of your head, the back of your shoulders, the back of the pelvis, and your feet on the ground. And just let them settle down, feeling each of those points nice and heavy. And you may notice the spaces that are under the neck, the low back, and where your legs are lifted. And with your breathing, you're just going to begin to explore rocking your pelvis forwards and back. So you might lift the low back further away from the floor, and you might let the low back drop down into the floor. And just explore the movement to a range that feels comfortable for any low back tightness. And you can pick your pace, but if you want to be a bit more somatic with this, try and move really nice and slowly. Like it's a sticky kind of movement, but you can feel sticky. Nice, good. And you can use either your buttocks to create this movement, or you can use your abdominal muscles. So just maybe explore a little bit of those two options. What it's like to squeeze the belly, ribs and hips draw together, relaxing the hip flexors and the buttocks. Or what does it feel like to really squeeze the buttocks and move from the buttocks, trying to move the low back down. We'll just take about 2 more of these, just tuning in nice and gently. And then we're just going to go into some pelvic clocks. So this is effectively trying to draw a clock face with your pelvis. So you're going to imagine that your navel is drawing down to the floor and the pubic bone draws up towards your navel. You're then going to tilt your pelvis over to the left and your hips might slightly rock, and it's okay if your knees rock. And then you roll down towards the pubic bone. There's an arch in the low back. And then we roll over to the other hip and we flatten the back up towards the navel again. So it's like you're making a circle with your pelvis, and it's okay if your knees go. If it feels too much to have the arching, you can just let the knees rock left to right and practice the 3 till 9 o'clock movement. So you can just do side to side if that feels better for your back and your hips, yeah? So just see which feels kinder for you, if it's exploring a circle or if it's the side to side rock. And we're just using this to kind of connect into our body, into our core. And also wake up these deep muscles that get a little sleepy when we're sitting at work or standing sometimes for a long time. If you're doing the clocks, the pelvic circles, just reverse them and go the other way. That's it, nice. And if you can, trying to synchronize the movement with your breathing, whatever that means and feels like for you today. Nice. Good breathing, Russell. Okay, we'll finish the next clock circle. And we're going to come back to the middle with your leg. And this time you're going to bend your knees in towards your chest, but you want to bring your knees nice and wide. So we're kind of coming like you would if you were a happy baby. So knees are wide, but you just let your feet dangle. So we're not actually lifting the feet. We're just going to hug the knees wide and just take an easy rock left to right now for your low back, just giving it a little massage. And it's actually a really nice core test to rock side to side as well. So just be kind and gentle. And we're going to bring one hand to each knee. And you're just going to let those knees go away from your body. And then you bring the knees into center and up the center line. So we're making little circles with our knees, just warming the hips, the thigh bones stirring inside the hip. And your low back might naturally move with this, and that's okay. Just be a little bit lifted in the low core in case that low back feels like it's arching a lot. That's it. Let's reverse those knee stirs the other way, stirring the knees the other direction. And they can often feel quite sticky, so just allowing the thigh bone to feel heavy inside the hip joint. Gorgeous, that's it, really nice. We'll finish with one more circle. Good, and then you're going to straighten out your right leg onto the floor. Let it be nice and heavy. Keep the left knee in. Take the right hand over to the left knee, and the left arm's going to rest out to the side at shoulder height. Palm can be up or down, whatever feels comfortable on your shoulder. You're then going to take this left knee across your body to wherever it goes without it hurting your back, and just support it with your hand if you want to underneath to give it a little shelf, or you can roll up a cushion if that feels better. But you can allow the hips to lift and rotate to whatever feels good. If your neck feels okay, you can turn and look towards that opposite left hand, coming into that full spinal twist, wringing out the back. You can try and breathe all the way down to the bottom of the belly, finding that softness as you exhale. And on your next exhale, gently bring yourself back to center with that leg, letting your hips come back to level. And with that left leg, you're going to cross it over your right ankle. So we've now got the left ankle on top of the right ankle. And the legs are both straight. You're going to take both arms up overhead as long as your shoulders feel okay. And then you're going to bring your shoulders around the right side and find yourself in a little bit of a sideways stretch, like you're trying to be a banana. If you need more of a stretch, you can always bring your legs a little bit further over to the right. Just make sure that both shoulders and hips are nice and flat on the floor. And then breathe into those left ribs and hips. Good, nice guys. We're just going to do 3 more breaths into that side rib to hip area. And on your next exhale, gently bring your shoulders back to center. Let your arms come back down, uncross your ankles. Just recenter your hips in any way that you need to. You're then going to bend that right knee into the chest. And we're going to find that left hand over the right knee, and the right arm's going to rest out to the side. Like, that's it. Let the knee come across the body and just take whatever support you want for that right knee. And if you feel okay in the neck and the shoulders, you can look over towards that right hand. And again, find that breath in the belly to help you with really getting that unraveling in your spine. This is a great stretch for just unraveling everything, and you might feel it in many different places. Really nice. Soft exhale. Beautiful, everyone. And then gently bringing yourself back on your next exhale. And as you land on your back, just cross that right ankle over your left ankle so the leg is straight. And take those arms overhead and shift your shoulders over towards that left side, finding that stretch down through the right side, ribs to hip. That's it, yeah. And just adjust as you need to get that levelness between the shoulders and level hip. And we're just trying to open out into the side ribs, make it very sticky. And the side stretch is so key for our low back health, which also means digestive health. Beautiful, everyone. Really nice. Okay, you've got 2 more nice big breaths into that side of the right ribs and hip. And on the next exhale, we're going to come back to center. And you uncross your legs. And again, you're going to hug those knees back in. But this time, just let your hands rest on your knees for a second. Just let everything center for a moment. Just make sure you feel nice and centered with your back. Okay, we're going to do a little core exercise. So you can keep your knees bent for this exercise, and you can keep the movement quite small if that feels better for your back. We want to keep the back flat on the floor. So pull the navel down in towards the spine to keep your back on the ground. And then we're going to take the arms up towards the sky. And if we can, we're going to take our feet up towards the sky. We're now going to, you don't have to extend your legs, you can keep your knees bent. And we're just going to start to circle ankles and wrists. So this is the first bit. Ankles and wrists, but the core is on because our legs are up in the air. So just keep drawing that navel to spine and let the shoulders be heavy on the ground. Nice. Let's circle those ankles and wrists the other way. And it really doesn't matter how you're doing it, just do it in the way that feels nice to your joints. Okay, 2 more circles this way. And then we're going to start to go into a little pattern for our brain. So we're going to be taking opposite hand to opposite knee. So they stay in the middle, but the other hand and the other leg go away from the body. So we've got a lot going on here, guys. And then we come back into the middle, opposite hand to opposite knee, we change sides, the other arm and the other foot move away. If it feels too much for your back, don't take the foot to the floor. You can keep the foot just where it is and just do arm to knee and changing the arms. Yeah, so if it feels too much for the back, just keep the knee still and hand to opposite knee. Yeah. If it feels okay for your back, the foot taps down towards the floor and changes. That's it, good. And the key here is we're tapping hand to opposite knee, keeping the back flat. There's a lot of brain activation that happens when we do this cross-crawl pattern. That's it, nice, everyone. And you're getting a nice shoulder opener by trying to reach your arm to the floor. Anyone wants even more of a challenge, you can straighten the legs and you do it with straight legs. So that's your uber challenge. Anyone who feels like they need more work for their core would be to do it with straight legs. That's it, good work, guys. Let's go for 2 more with each side. Otherwise, it's a lot of work and we don't want to make this too hard. That's it, last round. Well done, everyone. And then you're going to bend your knees in, give yourself a little hug. Again, You can do some little circles with your knees just to release your back if you like, or do the rocks, whichever feels better. Okay, we're going to now allow our feet to come to the floor. Let your arms rest down by your hips. Have your feet close enough into your seat. And just to get your feet the right distance, bring them together and then separate your heels and then separate your toes. So we got them sit bone distance apart. And then nice and close to your seat. We're just going to do a couple of bridges just to wake up those glutes a little bit more. So we're just going to peel the pelvis up and lift the vertebra up. So you come to your shoulders in a little lift, pressing down through the feet. Feel your legs nice and strong. Your inner thighs are drawing towards each other. Or it's sock off time. And then gently melt the spine back down, one vertebra at a time. Beautiful, good guys. Okay, we're going to just do 2 more of these. As you peel the spine up, really try and engage all of the muscles in the abdomen as well as through your legs. Push down through both feet and then melt back through the spine. That's it. One of my favorite visualizations for this. Imagine your spine as a pearl necklace. Each vertebra gets an opportunity to be a pearl being looked at. Enjoy that feeling. That's it. And then melting the spine back down. Now we have a slightly strange exercise to follow on from all of this, everyone, so apologies. We're going to straighten our legs out. Now this is to help us with releasing anger. So it's very strange. If your neck doesn't feel good, you don't have to do the lifting up with your upper chest, okay? So we're going to reach our hands up to the sky, spread our fingers, open your eyes really wide, look super startled at your fingers, okay? Squeeze your inner thighs together, flex your feet. So be really, really nice and active with everything, looking at your hands, wide eyes, like you're startled. And then you're going to make little fists and you're going to draw your elbows into the side of your ribs. And as you pull the fist into the side of your ribs, you're going to try and lift your head and you're going to stick your tongue out and you're going to make a roaring sound. And then you let your head and shoulders come back down. So it's a lot of upper back strength. If you can't do the lift with the chest, don't worry. You just push the back of the chest down. You'll feel like your nipples are pulling apart. So you can stay down and do it here. Stick your tongue out and okay, so we got 3 more rounds of this. So arms reach up, spread your fingers, wide-eyed startled, and then elbows pull in. We lift the chest and we roar. And again, arms reach, spread the fingers, look really, really startled. That's it. Awesome, everyone. Elbows in, push the chest up, rest. One more time. Arms up, reach through the fingers. That's it. Nice, big, startled eyes. And then fists, draw them in, push the chest down, roar. And just relax. Everything flop for a moment and take some nice belly breath.
Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful day.